So, hey guys, I'm skipping the flick of the week this week. Mainly because A, I don't feel like doing it, and B, I felt like making a different video. So, today's video is about the channel, it's about the television channel, the El Rey Network. Now, from the sounds of it, you're probably thinking, you might think, oh, this is a TV channel that has, television channel that has to do with, it's one of those all Spanish language channels. And you're like a little bit right, but you're also wrong. The El Rey Network is owned and run by Robert Rodriguez. Now, who is Robert Rodriguez? Well, let me grab a couple his movies off the shelf here. It is owned and ran by the guy who brought us both From Dusk Till Dawn and Planet Terror. Two really, really awesome horror films. He gave us those two films. So, this channel seems absolutely perfect. It seems to be right up, the horror fans' alley. Or at least you'd think it'd be. So, I've seen this channel not getting a lot of attention recently. I'm pretty sure that, there's only about 11% of the world gets the El Rey Network in their cable package or whatever. And not a ton of people actually tune into the El Rey Network. At least as far as I know, I can't find anybody that watches anything that's on the channel. I mean, some people don't even know the damn thing exists. But basically, the reason I know it exists is because I wanted to watch the miniseries based on From Dusk Till Dawn. And then we didn't have the El Rey Network at the time, or at least I thought we didn't, and so I missed out on it. And then I watched the first season a few weeks back, and then the new season started, and I discovered the El Rey Network, and I'm looking at, what's on. And basically, since this thing is run by Robert Rodriguez, they show basically nothing but reruns of Starsky and Hutch and Miami Vice and, a bunch of, kung fu action exploitation films. Just, they put a bunch of those just kind of together and make it the schedule for each day. And then Thursday night, they have a, kung fu movie night. And then Friday is the very big night, because Friday is when they do Creature Feature Night, where they show horror films. Now, the thing I'm showing in the corner here isn't the main promo. I would like to show the main promo, but I can't find it anywhere online, so. You're just gonna have to stick with this one. But this promo is for when they were showing both Cujo and the Black Cat on the El Rey Network. Now, this is one of those channels that they do the kind of uncut thing where they show programming after 9 o'clock completely uncensored. And what a coincidence. Creature Feature Night starts at 9 o'clock sharp. So, basically, Creature Feature Night, they show uncut horror films. Now, you might be thinking, oh, uncut horror films, so what? Halloween, Friday the 13th, maybe Hellraiser, something, more mainstream. Actually, no. Let me give you a solid example of what I mean when I say, they show uncut horror films or uncut, just kind of, horror films and monster movies and stuff. Okay, so when I first found out that we had it, and I watched the first episode of the second season of From Dusk Till Dawn, after I watched it, as I was watching it, I was looking at the promos they had, and that Friday night they were showing they showed double features, 2 horror films, and they were showing Evil Dead 2 and Lucio Fulci's Zombie. So, and that feels really, really weird, because I don't think Lucio Fulci's Zombie has ever aired on American TV ever, even censored. I don't think it has. and they're showing it uncensored. Now, Lucio Fulci Zombie, I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you, I don't think the movie's that bad gore-wise, but it's still a pretty gruesome film, and they're showing it completely uncensored, uncut. That is amazing. You know, and if you look at the actual, like, just regular promo that isn't advertising what's going to be on, it's just advertising the monster movies. It shows clips from stuff like well, of course, Lucio Fulci's Zombie, you know, fucking the Evil Dead movies, all 3 Evil Dead movies. They show clips from, you know, Godzilla, some classic monster movies, and then they show a few clips from what looks to be maybe The Beyond, and possibly even, and I'm 100% sure that one of the clips was for City of the Living Dead. This is one of them. This is one of those. One of Lucio Fulci's movies, and probably one of his most underrated. And it's not his most gruesome movie either, but since it's, you know, an Italian film, and it has a decent amount of nudity, and it has some very weird scenes, and some very gross scenes, and it's a very surreal, kind of weird movie, I wouldn't have expected them to show this, or even put anything about it, or put anything from it in the promos. So I know that at least Robert Rodriguez is actually putting input into what he wants to go on the channel. Now, if you're not convinced that the El Rey Network is not showing weird, or at least somewhat obscure, like, horror movies and creature features and uncut, really crazy movies, this Creature Feature Friday, which I'm very excited for, they're showing David Cronenberg's Naked Lunch. Now, let me let that sink in for a second. Naked Lunch, as in the film adaptation of probably one of the most widely banned books ever written. And I'll be honest, the film adaptation isn't as bad as the book, but you'd think, just by association, nobody would ever want that to be shown, even censored on television, considering the entire movie itself is a metaphor for drug use and repressed homosexuality. So, and they're showing that, alright? And this is a very unusual pairing, but I absolutely love it. They're showing that movie, which is absolutely weird and bizarre and crazy, which, it seems a little out of place, but at the same time it works because it's a very weird movie and not a lot of people have seen it. Not as many people have seen it as people that have seen, like, The Fly. So, they're showing that with Bruno Mattei, and when I say Bruno Mattei, I'm referring to the director of Hell of the Living Dead. Bruno Mattei's Rats, Night of Terror, and it's a movie about killer rats, and from what I've heard, that movie is also extremely gruesome and gross and violent. So I'm interested, and that one's on my watch list. I've been wanting to check that one out for a while. But the fact that they're showing Naked Lunch completely, like, uncensored, it's just such a weird, surreal movie to the point that it feels like it's one of those movies that could never air, and they're showing it. This might be one of the greatest television channels ever. And since my cable package doesn't have Chiller anymore, I'd like to receive Chiller. Because Chiller they wouldn't always show good stuff, but they would sometimes show some pretty good horror films. And now, you know, the only channel I would consider to be even slightly horror is the Sci-Fi Network, and they're always showing their stupid fucking TV movies. So there's not really a good, like, horror exploitation film kind of, you know, network on television currently, except for the El Rey Network. Which, did I also forget to mention that the short film Kung Fury got its television premiere on that channel. Its television premiere, shortly after it was originally released on YouTube for free. They put it on television. Like, it's oh my god, like, I'm loving this channel so much. I mean, today they showed Escape from New York, which is one of John Carpenter's movies, which I've always wanted to check out. Sadly, Dish Network decided to cut out because, you know, it's raining and storming, so I missed most of the movie in the recording, so I only got, like, 20 minutes in before it cut out. But still, they show really, really good shit in their channel that I think deserves more credit than they get. Now, is every single day do they have a good horror exploitation film on? No. But Friday nights and Tuesday nights are when I tune in, and I'll check and I'm checking, you know, the channel occasionally here and there to make sure there's nothing, you know, interesting on. But this is just basically me kind of ranting about how awesome this channel is, and basically just, yeah, that's it. Me complaining that this channel doesn't get enough credit when I'm sure there are quite a few people that watch it. I guess if you made it this far into the video, I'll go ahead and give you what I was going to do for the Flick of the Week. This week's Flick of the Week is Burial Ground Nights of Terror from 1981. It's an absolutely terrible Italian zombie movie, but I absolutely love it, and I would highly recommend it. Peace.